Hello, everybody, and I am so happy to be here today just because I could not let this moment go today just pass without realizing that today, on September 17, we are celebrating our US Constitutional Day. And I know I'm not sure how much this is celebrated in schools. It should be. It's on our local states. It's a requirement to talk about this, to learn, to figure out how much we do and we don't know about our Constitution. And I gotta tell you that I have times when I spent to in just reading and finding out so much that I just realized how little I knew and I still know about this Constitution and how much richer it is every time when you look at it and every time you want to learn from what our founding fathers left us. So a few things, few facts that I want to make sure we're kind of looking at it today together and sharing from the little thing that I know and sharing from the fact that I care and I think we should all care about this. First, we want to know that we do have and still is, and we have the greatest nation on earth. We do have that here in the United States. And today, Americans need to learn and understand those founding documents. If we don't have that, we're not going to be able to give everything that we have and everything we receive to our future generation. We cannot give them if we don't know what is important. And that's why it's so important to spend some time and have those days like today or any other time when we can just look into this into what this document says. And just like we are doing for any kind of a roadmap, any place we want to go, we are following and we're learning about that place. We need to learn and to understand what is happening in our nation and how is our document written and how many things have changed or are about to change and how is that going to impact if we allow certain things to happen. So I want to know that what I found that's also interesting is the fact that we wanted to encourage ideas here. This is a place where America is great, is because we do have this space where creativity, innovation is happening. And people want to come here and stay here for that reason. We do have also the longest standing constitution. And that is also very, very interesting to me because when we kind of check the length of an average constitution in the world, it's about 17 years, 17, 1-7. And here we do have a constitution that today we are going to celebrate the 237th year this year. So that is something to say about it, and it's something to look at it, say, what is it so strong? What made it to stay and be created that it can last so long? So I want to leave you with this idea and think about finding out, taking a moment to look at it, finding about what is that it lasted, and it's so important that we keep preserving it. There are so many things that I think we're still looking at in our schools, in our little groups, in our communities. We that came, I came here so many years ago, and I still had time. I need to take the time to learn and to understand this document. And it was only when I had a colleague in my work who kind of actually got with him the Constitution. I have here a copy, and he gave it to me, and he said, "Let's look at it. Just read it." And of course, I had a lot of questions when I came back to him, but at least I started from somewhere. It was one person who kind of cared enough to show it to me and to talk about it. I know we're going through the citizenship and we're going to the program, but are we really, really understanding the bottom lines, and are we really understanding what is there that we want to preserve in the future? Because if we can't look at that, we're not going to know when we go in the future in November what we want to actually preserve and keep. And as Benjamin Franklin said, right? He gives us a republic if we can keep it. He just gave us a republic. And I just want to to talk about this a little bit, because we do have that the problems coming up and just creating this confusion, because we are not studying the Constitution so thoroughly, and we're just coming up with those words that we're looking at it and we're moving them into directions, and then we are just going to come up and say things that are not necessarily the truth here. So I'm leaving you kind of with the few principles here, that the fact that if we were kind of to create a birthday cake, there are three things, three layers that are so important that we want to keep up, and those are the timeless principles that we have, and that we get our rights and the freedom from the Creator, not from government, not from our neighbors. And there is a moral right that and the wrong that the founders called the self-evident truth. And also good morality and knowledge are necessary for good government and happiness of all mankind. So those are the timeless principles, three principles that I would want to kind of keep them in mind. On another layer, we have those values and virtues. So let's think about those, what those are, right? And we get to look and to discover that some values that we are currently seeing them, it may be overrated, but look at what we really need to have in this birthday cake that we're building here today. The second layer has the four values that we can think of on top of the head. It's the responsible, be responsible. Are we responsible enough for what's going on? Are we also hard workers? Are we doing everything we can when we take one thing that we're starting and we're ending? Are we also generous? Are we looking around us and we're helping others? And how much of honesty are we bringing into the table? Those are so four values that describes the virtues and the values that describes the American, and we want to make sure that we show that as much as we can. Those people who are keeping those values and the strong values, and that they can talk about it, they can become the very best they can be in any circumstances. So they will keep those as so rooted and so important by shining them, by showing them, by not abiding from them. So we want to make sure we realize that, and we put those timeless principles that can lead to those values and virtues. And then the third layer, the top cake, if you wish, we can look at those as those people with those values and virtues that are able to make wise, safe choices, and also allow us to have freedom. That's what we're doing. If we don't have those virtues and values, if we don't exercise that, we will not be able to depend on what the future that we want to create. We won't be able to visualize that and make it happen. So I would like to look for you to think of the top layer as being the people that they govern themselves. We are governing ourselves. We are the people who can take care of ourselves, and we are looking around us and support and provide everything that's needed for all of our neighbors even. So that's what the things that you find, the key words that I would love to hear from you. What are the most important? What strikes you when you read the Declaration of Independence, and what is that what it means for you? Because we have unreliable rights, and those means that each of us were born with the right to enjoy the life, the liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's what we have as a keyword in this document. So I'm inviting you to take a look at it and tell me what else did you find? What else do you see that those freedom of religion and those rights, what is important for you, the fact that we have freedom of speech or freedom of, to come together, to protect ourselves. What are some of those things that none of the government should not take from us, right? And we are given and we have those. Can you list can you list any of those that are important to you? And what was the original intent? It's also another discussion. I'm pulling information and I'm having some documents that I usually use from Patriots Academy. I love them. I think they're very good at explaining this. And if we are going to take the time to understand, we will be able to be more passionate about coming up and bring others when they we feel like we're not on the same page. We can just come back and go back to the same route, same document, and interpret it together. Look at it. What is the difference, for example, between having a constitutional republic where we have that balance of power, putting the people in charge with the elected representatives, what we are doing right now, right, with vote on the thousands of decisions and laws for within the limits that are also set by the US Constitution. And the difference between when we have a democracy, when we say this is a democracy, well, it's each citizen votes thousands of decisions, laws, instead of representatives doing it so. So it can lead, democracy usually leads to hasty emotional decisions and giving into pressure, which can become chaos. But what we have here is a constitutional republic. We have that balance. We want to make sure we keep that power and putting people in charge, and they will represent us with the votes. So please take a look at what you're doing in November, in any other time with early votes or any places where you go, and look for the fact that, yes, in USA, we don't have that as a democracy. Look at what the constitutional republic means and learn the difference and allow for your own understanding and looking at what it means, what is important for you to keep and preserve. Okay, thank you. And I hope you're going to let me know what else am I missing, what else I could do. And if you are interested, just join the Patriot Academy. They have great support there. And I'm just on my journey on learning. And I know I have more to discover, but I am excited and happy to be here and do a little part of what I can do. So happy birthday, the 237th anniversary. It is amazing. Goodbye.